So yeah, just waiting for a street to catch up, and we're gonna be good to go. Ari, are you ready for some Mega Man 2 randomizer action here?
Oh, absolutely I am.
The anticipation is palpable.
Alright, folks, and it looks like our timer is starting. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and everything outside and in between, grab your drinks, grab your snacks, cause we are set to go!
Alright, so where we going?
Heading into Flash. Looks like Charlie Boy hit Wood and is resetting, and Siberian Bolt into Flash as well. Charlie Boy opting to go for Quick Man, while Gaming Wild Dad follows suit with the other two in Flash Man.
Yeah, Charlie Boy having a little bit of a quick trigger finger going to the Woodman's spot rather than probably his more initial target Quick. But yeah, Charlie Boy being the only one in Quick Man stage, but it really doesn't matter. Well, if you ask our other three runners, it probably would matter a lot, seeing a whole bunch of moles just pretty much being in the way, slowing them down a bit. But regardless, you still probably go to Flash first, either Flash or Quick, because you do have an easy to get E-Tank depending on the enemy setup. So having the early safety is a very big starting point for our runners. Metal Man is usually another go-to starter because there's an E-Tank at the very early goings of the run, but you like to have items to make the stage much shorter. And since this is 80% with speed zips allowed, you would like to have some items to make Metal Man stage as short as possible.
Could not agree more. As we see Trouble Star heading into their boss first. Speaking of Metal Man, it looks like a Buster Weak Metal Man.
Yep, a very fast fight. Metal Man down in Flash stage. Do we get our items? Because items are randomized. Indeed we do. We learned that item 1 is in Flash stage. So Siberian Bull and Gaming Wild Dad should be getting their item 1s very shortly after a very soft battle.
Yes, and also we see Woodman with Charlie Boy taking very quick time taking down that Buster Weak Wood, but no item out of Quickman stage.
Well, fortunately, like I said, with the stage names on, we do pretty much have ourselves a little bit of a quote-unquote assigned path, or at least the side order that we usually go to. So Charlie Boy immediately going to Flash, so he gonna get his item 1 in relative short order. Meanwhile, Gaming Wild Dad is going to Metal, trying to check that item 1, and that item 1 is looking really zippable.
Well, absolutely. Let's see if Gaming Wild Dad can get the line up here.
Yeah, a little bit too far back. Needs to close up just a little bit now, a little too close. The metal zip is generally not too hard to set up, but trying to place yourself on the conveyor can be a little bit of a challenge, and he tried to activate it a little too early.
Yeah, this is going to be a pitfall you might see throughout these runs with any percent. You know, trying to get those lineups, you feel confident when you're in practice, but when you're in the thick of it during a race, sometimes, as that's happened to me many times before, you just kind of get yourself mixed up a little bit off, and it looks like Gaming Wild Dad got himself even more mixed up by taking a death from one of those Mecha Joes.
Yeah, a case of live by the zip, die by the zip, as some of us would kind of rightfully say in place. Gaming Wild Dad trying to find a means to take out these Joe Mechs quickly, but having a little bit of a struggle here. And it seems like we got another metal sighting in Crumble Star. Crumble Star, a veteran Mega Man 2 runner, Vanilla, in his own right, able to set that item 1 perfectly and get the metal zip. Game about that unfortunately takes another death, while Charlie Boy and Siberian Bull, their next stage of action seem to be Bubble.
It looks like Game Wild Dad is going to take the game over, try his luck on a different stage, as, like you said, Siberian Bull, Charlie Boy, getting our first look at what this Bubble Man stage looks like. Like, Bull is not opting to go for the zip there.
Siberian Bull, mostly a zipless router, a little bit more into the comfortable with doing the zipless route, which on paper seems to be not much of a benefit, but with the risk, the high risk, high reward of some of these zips, it's not. We'll just see how it goes. It could be beneficial in the long run.
As we see Flash Man at the end of Metal Man stage on Crumble Star's screen. Not Buster Weak, but he is a jumpy boy.
Yeah, not opting to look for a weapon to make this faster, but Flash Man is usually a very easy Buster fight regardless, so not too bad of a Buster fight here. No items, so...
Metal, but we got Quick Man at the end of Bubble Man stage.
Alright,
Siberian Bull and Charlie make quick work of Quick Man. And no item for their trouble, though.
Yeah, we're starting to run out of places where our items can be, and they're not looking too promising. Crumble Star doing some pause buffering to make sure that he's able to survive getting popped by a shotman at random.
Oh, and looks like there's a little bit of deviation on path with Siberian Bull going to Airman, Charlie Boy going to Woodman, and looks like some of my biggest fans decided to show up on both stages. A little bit more daunting on Airman stage than Woodman, but...
Oh, Charlie Boy get a little ticky do some dog scrolls. Overzealous, but does he recognize the area? He's gonna try to go for yeah, he's just gonna opt to zip straight to the death, but this is what I was trying to say. Actually, using a self... He kind of might have forgot that he does have self-destruct here. If he knew that he was probably gonna die anyway, if he knew he was gonna be at the checkpoint, he could have self-destructed and not waste all that extra time trying to get to a death spot just to get back to the checkpoint.
As Charlie Boy was doing some good with there, you gotta be really careful with those platforms, because a death there can waste a lot of time. But it looks like he's gonna be able to get through this just fine.
Yeah, a very well executed good one on Charlie Boy's end. Once again, while not necessarily a runner of the vanilla game, a lot of vanilla strats still apply whenever possible.
Buster Weak Bubble at the end of Wood goes down very quickly for Charlie Boy. And we see item 2.
Having item 2 this early, and a pretty decent play. Oh, Crumble Star, see the fizz. So, once again, one of the good things that we have in the randomizer that we also added over time is the fact that you can pause while having weapons and items out. So as you see, Crumble Star had the Time Stopper out, but was able to pause it mid-freeze, because under vanilla circumstances, you cannot pause while Time Stopper is active. So having that kind of freedom winds up being very beneficial in general gameplay.
Yeah, as we see, Crash Man was at the end of Airman stage for Bull. He's a little bit tanky, a little bit jumpy. So a little bit longer fight for some of our competitors who might not have a weakness for him.
And with our item 3 being MIA and our Robot Master dwindling down, it looks like we may have a situation where our item 3 is either locked in heat or crash. in probably worst case scenario, you probably would not want to have out of 3B locked in Crash for a decently fast Crash climb. However, our runners are very resourceful, and I'm pretty sure they will find a way to navigate the Crash climb even without out of 3 if necessary.
Rebel's trying to hunt for a weakness, doesn't seem to have it for Crash Man.
You out there trying to take out Quick Man. Charlie Boy doing the same exact fight as Rebel Star, also sticking with Buster, trying to take out this very jumpy Crash.
Alright, well, it looks like we're gonna get our first look at Crash Man stage on Gaming While Dad's screen as well. In addition to the runners you see on screen, we also have Swift running in the background. Keeping tabs on their gameplay, see where they finish towards the end of this race as well.
Charlie Boy finds the medal. Probably gonna have the potential fastest medal, having Autumn 1 to not performing the medal zip there. It does have Autumn 2, unlike Treble Star, who has been in this stage earlier, but did not have Item 2, just like Siberia Bull has now, just finished our one-man stage. So, yes,
managed just to pull off the crash zip with Item 1 pretty flawlessly, so he's halfway through the stage here. He's probably going to use Item 1 to help his ascent as well.
Just to note, Item 1 is the only item with a randomized attribute as far as duration and vertical speeds. Items 2 and Item 3 are not randomized in that state because, especially in the final Wily stages, the final stage, it might not be possible to beat if those two are randomized in a not so favorable state.
Looks like Rebel Star is going to get his good wood on. Alright,
let's see very successful.
What the bottom of Heatman stage has for us. Just looks like a pretty favorable enemy set, so we'll probably see some of our other runners who are more inclined to zip, get through the section, attempt to get through the section a little bit faster. But masterfully using Item 1 to get over those pillars.
Charlie Boy tried to set up the crash zip, not quite placing the Item 1 properly. There he goes. Stubborn Bull with the Item 2, just flat out ignoring the Yokus. Give me my deck, just a little slow getting to the crash boss door. The fence not helping. And we have an airman and heatman stage, so blowing a little bit of hot air, and Siberia Bull needs to pop over an E-tank just to make sure that it survives this windy onslaught.
Hey, it looks like he's using those tornadoes to his advantage there, blocking all of them, forcing Siberian Bull to take another E-tank to get through this fight.
Yeah, Airman having such a randomized trajectory for all those tornadoes could make him a very, very rough boss. You can see all of the nutty defensive options that Airman can display just because of that. But we do have some good news. We do find Item 3 here in Heatman stage, so Rebel Star will be getting Item 3 shortly. Meanwhile, Gaming While Dad finally taking the stage down, get out of crash. Unfortunately, does not find the items that he was hoping for, but is going to one man where he will get the Item 2.
Yeah, as we also saw Rebel Star performing that aforementioned zip at the bottom part of Heatman stage. Making great time so far.
Meanwhile, it seems like our Pika Heat opted to use the Metal Blades as a soft weakness to try to take it out fast. You definitely want to find something that makes the Heat fight as fast as possible, thanks to the extra vulnerability frames that he gets after taking a hit.
Alright, and we got quite a tight one here, folks. Two longer stages in Heatman and Crash being the last Robot Master stages for both Treble Star and Charlie Boy. Let's see how they handle these. Charlie Boy is trying to set up the top part of Heatman zip with the item ones. Struggling a little bit. There we go, he got it.
One of the benefits of randomized items, you can do zips that are basically impossible. Normally in Vanilla Mega Man 2, Heatman actually locks item 1, so you can see the interesting benefits of the randomizer. Get item 1 early in the stage that you normally would not have them in.
Let's see how Charlie Boy sets up this bottom stage part zip. He's only got one left, and it looks like he has to go it on foot.
Treble Star able to do the zips, and he winds up extending his advantage a bit more because he properly executes them. Charlie Boy opted to use item 2 a little earlier. This is one of the things he personally tends to do to try to get maximum effort out of the item 2, but unfortunately that does leave him to do the Yoku blocks manually, which can be a bit of a stall because you're waiting for the blocks, which is why most runners will wind up doing the item 2 fly here, but whatever gets the job done.
I like that technique that Charlie Boy used to use the last bit of item 2 to get over the pit. Looks like potentially Protostar's using, he's using Metal Blade or Zeus Lightning to get through Heatman as a soft weakness. But that is 8 Robos down for Treble Star, heading into the Wily stages. Or should I say the light stages, with the best blinking in video gaming going on right there.
Yep, so once again, our favorite time of day is upon us, and we got some guessing for you to kind of take part in if you want. So we have ourselves a Mecha Dragon. And our Mecha Dragon has a lot of variations that we'd like you to guess, which is, the color of the dragon, the weakness of the dragon, and for special things, the design of the dragon. So we got our Vanilla Dragon, we got our Oats Dragon, we got our Swag Dragon, we have our Dragoncorn, a cute little dragon with a unicorn horn on his head. We also have Anime Shades Dragon, kind of like Gurren Lagann if you want to make a comparison. And we still have a Mystery Dragon sprite that has yet to be seen that I know is in this version of the randomizer. And I know we're going to be picking it because I want to see people's reaction to that dragon when it comes up. As for a color weakness, I want to see it red and weak to metal.
It's been a while since I've got a chance to do this on commentary, so I'm gonna go with my classic Georgia Peach color palette, a Swag Dragon, and Bubble Lead for the weakness.
Charlie Boy trying to do the vertical zips in Wily 1. The item 1 here is very comparable for it, but didn't quite space the items correctly, so wound up having to go for it the long way. It looks like you're gonna try to do it. Nope. The item 1 lingers a little bit too long to make it useful, so gonna have to do the climb just like everyone else.
He used item 2 to try to help his climb a little bit. Looks like we got an Oats Dragon. I don't even know what you call that color palette, but it's green and brown.
I would say mostly green.
And bubble land! Let's go! As we see Siberian Bull starting up his Wily stage, we'll see if Charlie Boy finds the other weakness. I believe that is going to be, heat would be the other weakness to the dragon, because Charlie Boy tried everything else. As Trouble Star makes his way through Wily 2.
Not to don't give me one that trying to beat this very defensive airman, and finds Quick Boomerang to be a soft weakness, making it a faster fight than what you would normally think for what everyone else, well, in comparison to everyone else.
And Trouble Star testing the walls, getting that E-Tank, finding Metal Blade as the weakness to the walls, so that'll help him out later on during the 2-beam fight, because we'll be able to tell that it will not be a weakness to 2-beams themselves, and you can take down the walls in short order later on.
Having that knowledge is good. As you can see, Charlie Boy opts to not go for that weakness. I mean, tech wall weakness.
Got some moles pairing our runners up on the bottom part of Wily 2.
So, as we are about to go to our Pico units, there is also another change that we like to tell our viewers about the Pico units, because now the order in which the Pico units are going to be sent out, they are randomized now.
Oh, and they're invisible in this seed. As Treble finds the best weakness in Crash Bomb, but the consumption is probably 1-for-1. He's going to need to find at least one more weapon to take out the last Pico block, as he also tries to figure out where they are on the screen.
Charlie Boy doing the same as that fighting Quick Boomerang to be the next weakness. Now, I think I will probably take Quick Boomerang as opposed to Crash Bombs, at least at the current item consumption rate that Treble Star is. If you have full health, if you have full Crash energy, I would definitely drain all the ammo for it. But in this case,
oh no! Treble Star already having to use 2 E-Tanks, tries to get through without using a third, and takes the unfortunate death that's gonna send him behind. Now I'm gonna tell you, with the randomized positions on this and the invisible Pico blocks, you hate to see that going into this fight. I know if I did, my jaw would be on the floor right now.
Yeah, this is literally probably worst case scenario as far as Treble Star is, and he had to leave for a vast majority of the race. So something like this is insanely crippling.
He is able to refill his Crash Bomb, though, to try to get himself back in fighting shape for this boss. Hopefully he can handle it a little bit better as he makes his descent back into it. As Siberian Bull makes his way into the Pico fights to see the bad news, we got Charlie Boy going through some murky waters.
Yeah, that's probably some hard water right there. Once again, not clean the pipes as Wally should.
Oh, it looks like Treble Star finding Air Shooter as another weakness, but to try to get a little bit ahead on this, but oh, he's gonna have a hard time right here. Ooh. Taking his last E-Tank to try to get through this fight.
Meanwhile, once again, one of our guest stars in Wally 3 being at the Technodrome, being our Gus Tank analog right now. Charlie Boy is trying to fight for the weakness, finds Metal Blades, gonna blade this Technodrome to death, gonna be moving on to Wally 4. as Siberian Bull and Cribble Star just trying to survive this Pico onslaught.
Oh, and Cribble takes another death, unfortunately. Oh, you hate to see it.
Meanwhile, Siberian Bull does succeed and winds up going to Wally 3. And give me one dad, still keeping pace, taking care of Airman. And has one more Robot Master to go, so give me one dad, while still quite a ways behind, is still putting up a decent fight, not letting the seed beat it.
Charlie Boy manages to get that vertical zip with item 3 to get through one of the sketchier rooms on Wily 4. As the invisible floors, the false floors, rather, are randomized in the randomizer as well. It looks like we got some prop tops in the anxiety rooms, which could be really, really tricky depending on their position in the next screen we're going to see coming up.
You know, I just noticed something on Cribble Star's screen that I didn't even think was added, or something I forgot, because Cribble Star got a crap ton of lives trying to get back to the Pico units. Our lives have gone beyond 9 on the screen.
Oh wow, yeah, no, I didn't even notice that.
So we're able to carry more lives in the randomizer now.
One of the many quality of life adjustments in the randomizer here, as Charlie Boy tries to go for the zip and gets it.
Gonna be trying for our god weaknesses, be usually air and not air, but leaf shield and metal. Finds out that metal is not the weakness for the turrets, but does finally find that blades are the weakness for the walls, so he's just gonna have to dig for the actual turret weaknesses itself.
Looks like it's gonna be quick boomerang. So Charlie Boy should be able to take this down in short order now that all the walls are gone. Gotta hit those. There it is. Moving on to the refights.
Give me one dad finally making it to the Wally's, well, the light stages, pardon. But once again, still trying to keep pace with everyone else. Once again, we do have one other runner that is still running in the qualifiers. Swift is in the background. We will have notice of his pace as our runners complete their seeds. So once again, we gotta keep an eye out for placements as Charlie Boy begins the boss rush proper. Starting with Flash, so Charlie has quite a significant lead right now, executing all the zips, having easier times with bosses compared to the rest of our runners. So Charlie Boy is on the fat track of qualifying from this race.
Although he did make a critical error going into refights, choosing the much more inferior clockwise boss fight choice versus counterclockwise. But, you know, I don't think that's gonna hinder him too much, considering the current landscape of this race.
Yo, Star fighting Quick Boomerang. See, hopefully that'll be much more useful and doesn't get walled by this Inviso Pico roadblock. But unfortunately, just taking so many hits and winds up getting smacked down again. Having a lot of lives is beneficial, but it winds up feeling like such a dead end right now, where all the deaths just seem to be piling up.
And you really got to feel for the guy. I mean, it's one of the most difficult possible situations you can find in the randomizer for Wily 2. And if anybody in chat is wondering, counterclockwise versus clockwise is a preference. I choose counterclockwise, obviously, but it really doesn't have that much of a bearing. You still have to fight all the bosses regardless.
Considering a modern meme and in-joke within the community,
yeah.
That kind of quote-unquote debate.
But, I mean, you know, counterclockwise, clearly better.
You know, I abstain.
Alright, as Siberian Bull is getting through his refights as well. Charlie Boy down to, it looks like, his last Robot Master before we see what this machine looks like.
Everyone there fighting the bubbles, just like everyone else, taking out the Mega Dragon, about to go into Wally 2, where dread awaits. The machine not busted, but look like weak to bubbles, but it's weak to bubbles on both phases.
And it looks like he's going to be able to shred it, as it is weak on both, but he is going to be using a lot of bubble lead to get through this fight. He might option to go for the refill in Wily 6 for the bubble lead, just in case it is the weakness to Alien. But we'll see what he chooses to do.
Nah, I'm pretty sure he's gonna go full tilt. Even though he's low on bubble, you're pretty much still gonna have a lot of other weapon energy, so you're pretty much just hoping and praying that it's not bubble, so you don't wind up having to go for those refills. And one more zip for the road. Charlie Boy's gonna go for the item one zip. Gets the door. About to see what our area is gonna be and what is gonna be that final weakness to destroy it. It's on the second page. It is Crash Bomb, and it should be a very quick and easy fight. DG's the Charlie Boy get himself a qualifying spot with official racetime.gg time of 30 minutes and 56 seconds.
Congratulations, Charlie Boy, taking race number 5 in our qualifiers. But that's not all of the mega we have for today, as we have another race coming up as soon as our current runners finish up their seeds and their runs. We're going to be setting up for Game 6, which is going to be any percent with hidden stage names. Hopefully it gives us runners a little bit of an easier time than this one, especially that Wily 2. I still cannot even fathom having to go up against a Pico unit like that.
I mean, here's the thing about the Pico units. Even though they are invisible, they still go the same trajectory and the same speeds as they are in vanilla. If you can mentally trace where they are, you can still very much dodge them. But if you're in a situation like Treble and you just kind of leave them lingering on screen too long, then you wind up getting lost and you wind up unfortunately just getting situations that you saw on screen right now. So Crumble Star, who's a very good vanilla Mega Man 2 runner and a solid randomizer runner in his own right, anyone can get won by a situation like this. So it's just an unfortunate thing within the that can happen in the randomizer. The Invisible Pico is such a daunting thing when you just let the fight go out of hand. But once not getting out of hand, it's not very nice Victory Road Lab going to fight this Magnet Man alien. Is he going to stick to the second page where he can fight Crash Bomb quickly, or is he going to quickly go to page 1 and delay the inevitable?
As we also see, now that Charlie Boy has qualified, we have swapped Swift in, so we can see where they're at as they're making their way through their refights as well. Siberian Bull making quick work of the alien, clocking in a second place time of 33 minutes and 13 seconds.
We'll start 5 medals to take out our Technodrome tank. About to go into Wally Stage 4. Give me one day. Find the immense terror. But seems to be handling the fight very well, keeping relatively decent track of our Pico units and first tries the fight.
Nice work on Gaming While Dad's part on that one.
It pretty much puts the proof of concept right on the screen. If you have a mental grasp of where your Pico units are, in spite of the randomized order and the invisible tactics that was displayed, you can still able to at least somewhat handily manage them. So, as always, just keep calm and just don't let things go out of control.
Exactly, and Swift taking a fortunate death on one of the last 2 hits of the Wily machine, having to start the fight over, but making quick work of it on his second go-around. As they will be heading into Victory Road themselves to try to claim the 3rd place finish on this qualifier race.
Give me right there, cutting that jump short, get popped by that single load spike. But Swift, about to go to Victory Road himself, taking a little bit of damage on the acid. Not sure. Oh, he did not have too much time stopper to begin with, so
it's gonna be he's gonna be raw dogging this alien fight. Hopefully, he finds Metal Blade quick and is able to get through it without taking any hits. No E-tanks to go with, so let's see how this goes.
and he is going second pace, so we'll find those passing bombs very quickly. But gotta avoid that one final hit. He can't be touching the alien nor the bullets.
Sorry, misspoke. Meant to crash on the board. As they finish up, get through the alien fight, and finish with a 3rd place race time.
So it's just got 2 more racers trying to come in clutch, trying to finish out this scene. We got Promo Star, even in spite of the Wally 2 shenanigans and all the Pico fights, finally making it to the refights. Start the refights in proper order. Going to the quick man fight, and we'll be proceeding on through the rest of the robots in rapid succession. Meanwhile, Game One Dead still trying to pick up the pace, still putting up the fight in Wally 4, not too far away from the end of the game. This guy had to continue pace and beat the game proper. Alright, if you don't mind holding down the fort for me, I gotta do something back right quick.
Absolutely. Trouble Star using that Metal Blade to try to get Heatman down as our last 2 runners try to finish up their seeds before we get the next game set in the background. Take a moment to check in with chat here. Having a lovely day. We got Race Room 2 set up as our runners are finishing up Season 1 to try to get this out and close out this exciting scene. Keep up with all the randomizer action this year, make sure to pop in to the Discord.
There we go, back in action here. Qualifier doing quick boomerang. Does not realize that Bubble is weak to both, but does find that Bubble is weak on the second phase. Bubble and Quick, not a bad combination for the machine. Going to victory road and finish out what was a grueling scene for him. But it's, once again, any finish run is a good one in this rate.
Absolutely, I could not agree more. I mean, even especially if you're having a rough time with the part of the randomizer, it's more of just a testament to your willpower that you just have to finish that race.
Qualifier again, the Wally 6 zip. Got one more alien to take care of. Once again, he's gonna stick. Look like gonna stick with second page, so he's gonna find the crash bombs very quickly.
There we go, Trouble Star finishing 4th place with racetime.gg time of 40 minutes and 37 seconds.
Meanwhile, Giving While Dead Stars fighting with the Pico units. One of the changes to the randomizer is that Bubble being the wonkiest weapon to use for the walls, will never be a wall weakness. But in the meantime, he's still just trying to fight. Well, he's short the door, so he knows metal's the wall weakness. He's just trying to find what the actual turret weakness is. Pause buffering to make sure that none of the shots take any kind of awkward pop shots. Using quick movement to take out all the turrets.
Gotta be careful here. It looks like they have 0 lives.
Could be 0, could be 8. I can't tell.
It's a little tight on there, yeah. Well, regardless, it's not going to matter as they take down the boo beams.
About to see what happens in the refights. It still looks like, yeah, he probably saw the race time, so Game While Dead has opted to forfeit, but very solid effort nonetheless. So that does conclude our first race of the day. We will be getting set up and prepped up for our second race. As Ari has already alluded to, it will still be 80%, but this time our stage names will be hidden. So sit back, hang tight, we'll begin that race shortly. So see you in a bit.
Thanks for the raid, Gaming Wildad. Much appreciated.
Alright folks, as we are getting set up for race 2, doing a few more things in the background here, we have a few lineup changes coming up. We'll have Swift being showcased on screen, as well as Snape joining. They have already qualified, but they are going to be taking part, just to have some fun, get a little practice in before the main bracket starts. So hang tight for a little bit longer, and we will see you shortly.
Okay, folks, sorry to keep you waiting, but it seems like we do have everything in order between all our runners. So once again, this is your boy LV Creed here alongside with Ari Specie here, getting ready for our second race of our qualifier matches right now, and we are doing 80% as we did last time, but now our stages are hidden, so our runners will not know where any of our Robot Master stages are, and this is because they had to rely on the luck of the draw to find the right stages so they can get through the stages as quickly as possible. So on our screen here, we have Treble Star and Siberian Bull making a return appearance. Swift has been moved over to the forefront so we can see Swift's progress, and we have a special guest in Snape, who yesterday did qualify but just joining for the racing festivities. So Snape does not have anything to race for, so if Snape does win, it will be the second place runner that will be qualifying for the brackets, if that does come to case. So, with all that being said and discussed, Ari, how we feel about things so far?
So good. I mean, everyone's competed incredibly well so far this season. In the last 5 races, seen some really, really impressive stuff. And honestly, I'm just excited to see who's going to be our next qualifier here in just a few minutes.
So it seems like we're just waiting for our gatekeeper to make sure that everything's ready. And we should be ready to go in just a little bit.
Yeah, I believe we're just waiting on one competitor to get their game up on screen here in Swift. Other than that, everybody should be set and ready to go, and we should be able to get the ball rolling for Game 6 of the qualifiers.
Game 6, everybody's ready to go. Ari, you're the one who's keeping us up. Hold us up. So as Ari's about to release the hounds here, the countdown is about to set forth, and we should be ready to go once the stream catches up. So in a few seconds, we're about to be ripping and ready and roaring to go.
Gotta say, I claim no responsibility, even though it was my fault. My bad.
So yeah, as stream catches up for everything, it should get everything ready to go. Once again, welcome everyone. This is the qualifier races for the Mega Man 2 Randomizer. This is our 6th race out of 8. We'll be doing the same thing tomorrow at the same time at 2 p.m. Eastern Daylight. We are about to crown our 6th runner. Right now, we have, of the 5 that are currently in, we do have Casual Tom, my co-comp Ari Specie. We have Charlie Bo, who just won, 2% Chungus, and Snape, who is racing right now. And as said before, since Snape is racing, if he wins, it will be our second place runner that will be qualifying.
And our runners are off for Game 6. Looks like Siberian Bull and Treble Star both hit Bubble Man. We got Snape and Metal Man, and Swift and Airman.
I'll probably say in this case, Metal Man would be the best case scenario because of that single E-Tank. And our Tin Can Chicken, they're very butter susceptible. Definitely not the kind of enemy you would like to see having high health. So this is a very welcoming start for Dave as they're running through the first half of the stage. Meanwhile, Swift, seeing Airman early, not the best start. You would probably like to have at least item 2 to go for it, but since item 2 could be here, or any item for that matter, taking the risk to go through the stage, I respect it. Normally, when you see bad stages, you would reset and use it as a scouting moment and try to find a better stage.
Hey, but sometimes in these hidden stage name runs, it can be a really good benefit to just power through, because you will get, most likely, an item that you were not expecting. Or potentially good. But Swift is taking a beating. He's one hit away from death. Let's see if he can make it to the boss door.
Well, someone who already made it to the boss door is Crumble Star. Find out who's our boss in the bubble, and it looks like we're gonna have a very soggy log right in front of our faces. And it's a reverse, it's a leaf rising shield, but fortunately he's a high jumper, so, and the leaf shield itself goes by pretty fast. So yeah, surprisingly easy pickings for our Woodman here.
And Snape making short work of the boss at the end there. I believe what that was Quickman. I don't know, I was watching the other screen as we got Flashman here on Swift's screen.
There seem to be no items of metal. Let's see if there's any lucky in the Airman stage, as Will does clean Flashman's clock. And unfortunately, we have no items found. And pretty much get to some familiar territory. All of our runners, even in spite of the hidden stage days, wind up all going to stages we already see.
Well, give us a little bit of consistency here, as 3 of our runners making their way through Metal Man stage here, and Snape going through Bubble Man. We're gonna see this bubble zip shortly.
They get to quite focus on Metal Man stage since we really pay attention to other runners, but seeing these falling crabs here, kind of a bit of annoying, but they do spawn at a pretty constant distance, so if you know where they are, you can pretty much should be able to safely traverse and navigate the area. As the rest of our runners, well, at least Siberian Bull and Swift are back to experience.
Yeah, and lucky for our runners, they are one buster shot crabs as well, because if they are tanky, they can definitely be a big obstruction, as they do 4 damage per contact hit.
Alright, Trouble and Siberian Bull about to take care of Quickman in the Metal Man boss room. Woodman does go down in Bubble Man's room on Snape's end.
Next, Crumble Star finding his way into Airman stage as well as Snape.
Once again, somehow we're still, even with the hidden boss rooms, we're seeing stuff we already see. Siberian Bull also going finding air.
There we go. Now we got a little bit of a deviation with Swift finding Woodman stage. We'll see what they have to contend with in this one.
A lot of Metroids, Sniper Joes, and a few Puro bots in Woodman stage. A solo low-hanging monkey, and we're gonna see how these well, I was gonna say dogs, but they're cats this time. Pretty sure some cat lovers in chat probably not loving seeing these things get washed out by Leaf Shield. Well, air shooter in this case, with changing weapons.
That's a nice pattern on the air shooter as well. Good screen coverage on that. Could be very useful throughout the scene.
So Snape and Krellis are pretty much running stride for stride with each other right now, going through Airman stage. Siberian Bull not too far far behind. Meanwhile, at the top of the treehouse, looks like we got some scuba mess after that shrimp, which are one shot fortunately, and not continually spawning. So the top of the treehouse looking pretty tame.
Treble and Snape in their Flashman fights. Treble able to get out faster. Whoa! Snape taking a death, unfortunately getting frozen
Nah, honestly, I think he should have stayed frozen in the air. The shot probably would have went under him. He unpaused and canceled the time stopper and wound up putting him in easy positions just to get picked off.
As we see Heatman at the end of Woodman stage, Swift making quick work. And our first look at Heatman stage on both Snape and Siberian Bull screens.
Oh, it looks like we're gonna have some hot air, and you gotta keep your fans out of this, Ari. They're messing our runners up.
Listen, they knew I was on commentary. They had to show up, right?
Well, Snape is making some easy work of them using Leaf Shield. Siberian Bull opted to use Air Shooter on the side, both of them one-shotting our fans, trying to make this area as tolerable as possible. Meanwhile, Swift going to crash, not really finding any items here. Our items are seeming to be in some very unfortunate places right now. Swift being forced to go through the. Oh, he found item 1. I didn't get to see where item 1 is. It had to be in wood.
But yes, it must have been in wood there. We'll be able to confirm that as Crumple Star is coming up on their Heatman fight at the end of Woodman stage.
It looks like we got some turtle-looking rabbits fired off their projectiles in a Heatman stage, where we got some shaky-looking Yaku blocks. Pretty fitting visually, at least. Meanwhile, Heatman being discovered in Woodman stage. Didn't quite see it, not focusing on Swift's side, since Swift already did this area already. And we're about to confirm to see if either one it was indeed found here.
Yep, that is correct. And we'll see what we're going to be looking like at the end of Crashman stage here, as Swift is coming up on the last screen before the boss door.
Not only that, we're seeing full glimpse of item 1 in action, and it's completely stationary. So if you're hoping to do this with item 1, for the most part you're out of luck unless you know some clever finagling, especially in Crash stage, which Swift unfortunately probably doesn't seem to be aware of.
Now, in this particular situation, in this randomization, you kind of feel like Siberian Bull might have an edge being a zipless runner, because a lot of these guys are going to be looking to try to pull off some of these zips here and there, but just not getting the items they need at the right time, and obviously with item 1 being stationary and being almost impossible to zip unless you have some pretty advanced techniques in your back pocket. We'll see what happens as Siberian Bull takes down Boltman in short order at the end of Heatman stage. And no item found there either.
Well, we actually did find an item on Swift stage. Crash stage had item 3. So if you're hoping to do a fast crash climbing with item 3, you're out of luck in there. So you're definitely hoping to have item 1 in storage if you want to do some fast crash climbing. Swift do some pause buffering, try to do the Buster only style method of setting up the zip, and does do it successfully. Again, not getting caught by that long walk, and we find Airman in Quickman's room. Pretty tough on the Buster, but it looks like he gives quite a bit of opening to do some damage on.
Oh, this could be a little tricky. Yep, Crumple Star needed to take that E-tank. As we're going to see Snape attempt to do the Buster-only zip on Crashman stage to see if he's able to pull it off. It looks like he's got the setup gun. Should be smooth sailing from here.
We got a quick stage down. I did not get to see the weapon, get to see if item 2 was equipped. But regardless, we got 3 runners in crash. Snape taking the game over. I think he was trying to do the zip and did not keep track of his lives.
Oh, you hate to see it. I mean, when you're in the thick of it, when you're racing, it's so hard to keep up with knowing whether or not you have that extra health, life for those tricky zips. It's happened to me before, and it's always a heartbreaking thing to see. Luckily, Snape's already qualified, so even if he does fall a little short, he's still going to be part of the tournament.
Siberian Bull taking the right side, so he's gonna deal with the very, very long climb. Once again, item 3 is in this stage, so this is a bit of an unfortunate situation for SB, but and Star opted to do the same thing, using the rest of the item 1 to try to get up to the transition point faster.
Man, Siberian Bull making use of that air shooter again, being able to take out that tin can, save a little bit of health in the boss fight here, as he will take on his Metal Man.
Schwartz finishing off the rest of the force beam section of Quickman. About to go into the airman fight a little bit, and Snape about to get some new information. Because this is the first time we see Flash Room, and we find a crash in Flash.
Oh, and he's a short hopper too. Gonna be searching for some weaknesses. Looks like he did find a soft weakness in Leaf Shield. Oh, it's gonna be close. He got him.
Alright, we're still trying to find the item 2. Is it in Flash?
And it is. When you see these item placements, normally if this is a revealed one, you'd see these runners go into those stages, or some of the stages, and get those items a little bit earlier, but, you know, when you don't know where you're going, you just gotta roll with it.
Gonna start using metal. Looks like a lot of weapons are pretty effective on these fan feeds. Gonna start up to use metal this time to do the job and try to navigate this area safely. Meanwhile, Siberian Bull and Swift going to Flash. Gonna see Crash and hopefully get item 2 shortly. Meanwhile, Snape is cat killing here in Woodman stage. Gonna be going top of the tree houses in a little bit.
Alright. Yeah, my biggest fan just showing up everywhere on this seed. Just saw one there in Flashman stage.
Grandma Star trying to do the Heatman tip with item 3, but our turtles are not having it.
It's definitely a tricky enemy placement for that one. But killing him off, should be able to get this set up and see if he's able to pull it off. There you go.
Yeah, it's one of those situations that if you see a specific enemy type, it's definitely better to just go ahead and just take them out quickly so you have nothing to impede your progress and try to do zips like what Grandma Star attempted and eventually succeeded on. So a little bit of a time waste, not quite catching that sooner, but all in all, doesn't matter! Ooh! Missed time to jump on the Yokus!
Gonna set him a little bit, but he still is in an advantageous position with only having a Flashman stage left after this one. Still a little bit ahead of the other runners, but they are going to be able to catch up pretty quickly with the skill level we have on display here. As we got Snape finding their Heatman at the end of Woodman stage. Testing out some weaknesses. Looks like he found a pretty good weakness in Air Shooter.
Yep, that's a pretty decent soft weakness. Once I'm taking out Woodman in relative switch succession. About to get that item 1. And gonna be moving onward to our next stage. And he finds Quickman next on the chopping block. Meanwhile, Crumble Star, even after that slight setback with the Yoku blocks, finds Bubble Man. Finds a really good soft weakness in Metal Blaze. Pretty much just cuts him to shreds and is about to move onward. Got only flash states left. Probably realized that item 2 is there, so an unfortunate routing, but that's what the complexities of his stages do.
Absolutely. And you know, you call that one of those blink and you'll miss it fights, but and it looks like our other runners getting down to the nitty-gritty with Siberian Bull only having their last stage left here, which would be Quickman stage.
Utilizing the item 2 so it doesn't have to worry about any Yoku shenanigans. And gonna go straight to that Bubble Man fight in just a few screens. Meanwhile, they get the item equipment. He's about to use item 2. Yep, about to use item 2 to try to get by these next couple of screens just a little faster, so it doesn't have to do a little bit of a long extra walk to get to the boss room where Airman waits.
Absolutely, and let's see if Crumble Star tries to go for this heat tank. He should have a full kit, so he'd be able to touch the walls pretty easily here after picking that up. But there are some crabs in the way.
Oh, it is Swift that's actually first into our Wally stages. So a little bit of a come by surprise, missing a Robot Master or 2. Swift winds up taking the reins and winds up seeing Dr. Mario, who's become our rogue doctor. It is our first into the Wally stages. So as usual, we got guessing that we like for chat to do. We got a dragon here. We got a weakness and a color, and of course for our designs we have a couple of shades here. One with like general 80 shades, and one with our anime shades here. We got our vanilla dragon, we got our oat dragon, our swag dragon, our dragon cord, and I'm still hoping for that mystery dragon. It's gonna come up soon. I'm hoping and praying sometime down the line, so I'm gonna be picking it until it appears. But as for the color and weakness, I'm gonna go for a set of grays, and it's gonna be weak to bubbles.
See, I'm gonna go with Barney the Dragon Corn this time, with some purple and green. And let's see. Let's call Buster weak. Let's make it easy for him.
Crumble Star, Siberian Bull, both star their Dr. Mario stages. Crumble Star getting a little bit picked off, trying to use item 2 a little early, once again started by the crabs, but it's still moving onward. And Swift about to figure out what in the world is going to be up with this dragon in a few seconds.
Yeah, I mean, this is still anybody's game, folks. One mistake, one, you know, unfortunate Pico block later, could be anybody's race.
And I'm gonna say that is a magenta oat dragon, and well, you got Buster. You're on a roll as far as yeah, you're on the ball with weaknesses. So Swift pulling ahead from our runners here, about to go to Wally Stage 2. Siberian Bull and Crumble Star basically a screen behind each other, while Snape is still trying to finish off the rest of these 8 Robos.
Yeah, we're talking probably looking about a half a stage behind the front runner here in Swift for both Crumble Star and Siberian Bull.
Alright, that is our our crash boss down. See if I made my markers correctly, still has a quick left. No, of course, oh, the joys of 4-player tracking solo. But
yeah, a lot of things going on going on the screen right now, folks, but all of our runners are in the Wily stages now, as Treble Star and Siberian Bull are going to be doing some weakness hunting of their own. Looked like Crash Bomb is one of the other weaknesses for the Dragon.
Yep, and he's opted to match the... Yeah, matching the Crash was definitely the best option. The explosion duration is horrendous. It's horrendous. So you're definitely matching the Crash Bombs. Of course, we don't know what the other weakness is. Most of the weaknesses on Wily bosses are 50-50. You're guaranteed at least a couple of weaknesses, but Buster is not guaranteed.
Oh, absolutely. We see what these Picos are going to look like. It's another invisible Pico set.
Oh, Treble Star's gonna have He's gonna have some traumatic memories coming up.
It's weak to quick boomerang, but oh, it's a lazy leaf. That's going to be very beneficial for our runners. I mean, especially in a situation like this, you love to see it.
So this should be a relatively easy Pico fight if our runner is able to catch that in time. So, but right now, Swift is still our runner of the hour, pretty much making easy work of our units, about to finish the job, taking care of Wally 2, about to go Wally Stage 3, while Treble Star and Siberian are about to find out the bad news about the Picos, but hopefully the good news about the weakness.
Oh, absolutely. We'll see how both of them handle it, as they are both going to be going into the fight just about a couple frames behind each other, or within each other.
He's about to take on the dragon. It looks like he does have Crash equipped, so it's probably going to be sticking with it. And now goes the dragon on the... Oh, nasty! That's one of the nastiest things in regards to the randomized enemies. There are some enemies that can be in the background, and in Wily Stage 3, moles can be hidden within the background, and as you saw, Swift was to get picked off by a background mole, interrupted his Item 2 flight.
It looks like Siberian Bull did find Leaf Shield and is going to be finishing up their fight, as Treble Star unfortunately takes another death to the invisible Picos on the day.
Yes, did not find the weakness quick enough, but he should be in better shape for this fight now. Hopefully he'll find that Leaf and we'll be able to move on as Siberian Bull. Oh, we got another Buster Week boss in our returning Techno Tank. So Swift making quick work of bosses and going on to Wally 4.
Yeah, those moles are quite oppressive. Luckily, doesn't seem like they're too saturated in the background there.
Treble Star using Quick Boomerang. All he's gotta do is just be able to follow along and take out our flying toasters. Siberian Bull is about to take on our Technodrome. And Snape's about to fight our Picos also.
Looks like Swift is making short work of these anxiety rooms here, with having plenty of Item 2 energy to just get over those false floors.
Don't get Charles out of rules proper.
Oh no!
Yeah, now we are full of anxiety. But it may or may not be anxiety in the next set of rules, depending on if there is a fan on the bottom right of Swift's screen in this next upcoming screen. If there is, then we're gonna have some. Oh yeah. Now we're gonna have some interesting situations here. But he does have Item 1, and he's successfully placed it still in a place where it's definitely safe to traverse the area. And is able to get through the room. Had to take a little bit of beating to make sure that he's able to get through it safely, but taking a beating is much better than just flat out dying.
You are correct, and he did handle that masterfully with the item 1. Alternatively, we did see earlier that the fan fiends were one hit from the metal blade, so that might be a strategy we see some of the other runners employ through there.
True, very true.
He goes for the weakness dig. We got Crash Bomb for the wall weakness.
Vanilla wall weaknesses, but what is our actual turret weakness? As Swift decides to take out the rest of the remaining walls.
Oh, and it is Air Shooter.
It is very vertical. This will be a candidate for God weakness status if it was checked a little sooner, but regardless, Air Shooter making short work of these turrets, and Swift is the first to reach our boss rush.
Absolutely, and we just saw Siberian Bolt do exactly what I had said, switching over to Metal Blade to take care of that fat fiend. And here we go, refights, folks!
With some great music in the back. It's a good old Mega Man 4 Wally theme too. Siberian Bull is the next one to fight our Picos. I mean, not Picos, our boobies. Got Picos on the brain. The freaking invisible Picos got stuck in my head.
I mean, I don't blame you. And Bull finding the weakness pretty quickly.
It gives a 2-for-1 on the final 2 turrets. Siberian Bull is our next one to go through our boss rush.
Right, we'll see how these competitors do. I mean, Swift is still handedly in the lead here, with 4 Robot Masters down, so Bull will have to get some quick work done with some of these if he's hoping to catch up and overtake Swift and get this game.
Star unfortunately taking a death on the second screen of fans. In our moving platform rules, Rondo taking another setback here. So, but it looks like he realizing that he does have Metal Blades. He's probably going to use that to take out that one fan free right below him so he can move on throughout the rest of the area.
Swift down to their last Robot Master. Wisely taking E-Tank there, as to not have any blow-ups.
Alright, every Robot Master down. Let's see how our machine goes. Is it gonna be Godbuster or is this gonna be... Yep, we're gonna do our classic weakness dive. And first phase is weak to metal, but is it weak for the second phase as well?
It is not, but he does find Crash Bomb. Oh, he's gotta be careful. Whoa, alright. That's gonna leave him very, very short on Crash Bomb energy. However, let's see if they opt to refill it or not. I would say from a runner's perspective, when you're making this kind of time and you have no idea where your other competitors are, I typically would just go for it, but let's see what they do.
Well, it's opted to take the energy, trying to take the safety. In a race situation like this, fortunately no one is close, but this definitely could have been a situation where it could have mattered. But fortunately he has amassed such a lead that doing this may end up being the correct decision here, as you're about to see our alien and what's it potentially weak to.
It's a fish. Did you know
But
Dr.
not just-
Mario was a fish all along? Oh,
Not
he
just
was
any
already-
fish, a fish that's weak to Metal Blades, and Swift, the one who surprised being the actual first in the Wally stages, maintains the lead and winds up being our next qualifying runner into the brackets.
Yeah,
With
they have
official... No, you continue to do the honors, Ari.
Oh yeah, with an official race time of 30 minutes and 44 seconds, setting a new personal best. What a way to do it in spectacular qualifying fashion. GG's to Swift. As Siberian Bull pulling out of his machine fight, heading on to victory row. Treble with 3 Robot Masters left.
Siberian Bull opted to go for the weapon energy as well. Very, not gonna lie, kind of uncharacteristic between some of our runners. Normally you would like to see them continue to just go to the right and just kind of roll the dice as far as we go, but the weapon energy, which is exclusive to the Randomizer, mind you, is there for those kinds of safeties.
Absolutely. I mean, like, when you're in such a tight race situation, too, like, in my mind, I have to roll the dice in that one. Like, you have so many other opportunities for it not to be crash bomb that, you know, you just gotta go for it in my head, my thought process. But hey, you know, it still worked out as Siberian Bull finished in second place with a time of 32 minutes and 22 seconds. Looks like Trouble Star found Leaf Shield as the first weakness for the machine. And it is, yes, the weakness for both stages. Not exactly the most optimal weakness, but hey, if it works, it works.
Indeed, and Trouble Star going to Victory Road here, trying to finish the run strong. Once again, having the torture of the Invisible Pico units causing issues and havoc yet again, but still manages to go much better than it did the last run. And it's about to fight the strongest fish in the world, but is going to be weak to Metal Blades.
Yeah, as we have Siberian Bull 9 joining us here, good races, my friend.
Heat, crash, no items. Bleh.
Yeah, it was not exactly the most favorable seed for that much. Joined by our 6th qualifier, Swift. GG's, my friend. Great performance today.
Thank you. Oh my god.
So, Swift, how does it feel to be amongst the 8 qualifiers that are going to be racing for the big time when brackets appear?
It feels great. Also, because it was my last class, I just feel a rush of emotions right now, honestly. But also,
okay.
Did you specifically pick 8 because there are 8 Robot Masters?
Maybe. Maybe that's just how it shook out. You never know.
I'm just going to plead the 5th.
But,
It'll be a
that
fucking
being
detail
said,
if you did.
Well,
also,
before we continue on with our interviews, we're gonna finish this stuff with Snape here, fighting the strongest fish in the world, but weak to the easiest weapon in the world, Metal Blades, and Snape does find the Metal Blades. Gonna take out this fish in relative short order, and that is GG's for all our runners. Snape finishing last with official time of 34:45, but remember that Snape has already qualified. He says racing for the sake of racing, but once again, all our runners doing their thing, completing their runs, and right now we have all races done for today.
yes, GG's to all the runners. Great performance by everyone today. As always, a pleasure and a privilege to see so many talented people come together and play an amazing game. So, GG's, boys.
GG's, everyone.
GG's.
Yeah, boy!
So just a quick run through how everyone felt about those seeds.
Should I start? I guess I can. Man, everything was going really good until Heatman stage on the first seed. I can tell you that much.
It was the same with me.
Back-to-back Invisipicos.
That's what killed me on my first seed, man. Like, my 8 robles were really good, but I got destroyed by Pico. It was like, and for some reason, I totally forgot that it has 3 weakness and not 2. And I think that's what actually, like, killed me and drained all my E-tanks and stuff.
It got updated to 3? Because I only really remember it having 2.
That's what I remembered too. And then I figured out, like, I'm gonna check to make sure, and sure enough, there was a 3rd one.
Yeah.
I never knew that, actually.
Pico does have 3. I was just happy that in the first seed I found Crash, and instead of trying to hunt where it was going, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna fire the Crash Bomb into it and let the explosion do the job.
Yeah, and for some reason, like, when it's invincible, like, it's hard sometimes to figure out, like, where he's actually stopping when you don't remember it, like, that much.
Yeah, you end up having to think, all right, how do I play Pico regularly? And now that it's also just randomized as to where it comes up, that adds a certain level of difficulty, because the speed increases with each one, and if it's not in the spot you want it to be, you have to go, well, where are you going? Where are you? Why aren't you there now?
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, actually, the invisible one isn't randomized Picos. So that's actually a thing that is like in the programming, like if invisible, do not randomize. So invisible is still vanilla. And you can blame Prodigy for the fact that Invisible Pico is actually a thing anyway, because he was the one who added it when he was working on the sprites in like the 2021, 2022, whatever. But you can thank Quantum for making the randomized Pico a thing, period. But he also coded to where if Invisible was a Pico, or if Invisible was chosen, then randomized wouldn't be. But regardless, yeah, it's still like, now that randomized Pico is a thing, it keeps you on your toes.
I still prefer that one for like compared to Invisible, though.
Yeah, I had some thoughts.
It really does.
I hated the fact that in the second seed, I had too many close calls against Robot Master. So instead of just using my E-tank, I ended up protecting my E-tank, which probably cost me a little time and being a little too cautious instead of just throwing it to the wind.
Yeah, I do that too, and like on some bosses that I should not probably.
I'll tell you what. Seed 1 Airman was not a bro.
No. I mean, both Airmen were bad.
I will never forget that one fan fiend in that one replacement spot. That thing is a menace. All fan fiends are menaces, but that one especially, like, that's the leader of them all.
You can blame Ari for that one. They just adore him whenever he's in just on comms.
No, just in general.
I learned from last time, though, and I just straight up just used Time Stopper, because I am not dealing with another death again to these things.
Fortunately, I had both Time Stopper and Item 1 for that one, but yeah, you are correct.
But yeah, once again, congratulations to our qualifiers for the runs, which are Charlie Boy and Swift. So GG to you two. We're gonna go ahead and begin closing things out. So any final words or shoutouts before we conclude festivities for today?
Remember to check your lives before doing the zips.
Yes.
I don't have to worry about that. You're talking about zips.
What good are those?
Always say screw RNG whenever a fan fiend spawns.
Yeah, there's some forbidden spots to zip.
Yeah, I mean, seeds looked like a little brutal / rough today, but hey, we made it through it. I do want to mention about the Matcherino. We cleared it up yesterday on that broadcast, but I'm going to go ahead and say the Matcherino said we had $65 on the in the prize pool. That was from last year. Somehow last year's prize prize pool ended up getting confused or added this year somehow. So we don't have anything in our prize pool currently. I placed the match arena in chat. If you guys would like to, consider donating, if you have the means, by all means, please consider it and have us racing for a prize. That's awesome. If not, hey, it's all good. We still just enjoy people tuning in and having fun. Please try this randomizer out. It's so fun. Always getting new updates yearly at least, as far as like sprites and little quality of life here and there and stuff. Big shout outs to everybody who raced today. Shout outs to Swift for qualifying, and I don't want to shout out myself for qualifying, but yeah, congrats Swift for qualifying as well. Shout outs to Ari and Creed for commentating. I know Creed, it was like a last minute thing. He was going to just track, and I accidentally put him on commentary instead of tracking. But yeah, shout outs for him for stepping up. And on shout outs to, of course, Duckfist for creating the rando, and then Squidman for, overseeing, being the lead of the community edition of the rando, and Quantum and Creed for making all the music or adding all the music this season. I think it was like 3,000 plus songs. I don't know if it actually ended up being 3,000 or not, but I know that was on the list. If 3,000 actually made it in or not, but still wild. And then Gaming While Dad for his contributions as far as like sprites go, and for joining us in the race as well, as all the other guys that are raced today and just racing in the tournament in general. You got 2 more chances to qualify, guys. That's tomorrow at the same time. That would be 2 p.m. 2 p.m. Eastern time. So that's an EU friendly time, as that's evening time for them. So yeah.
Well, if no one else will do it, I will shout you out for qualifying, Charlie Boy, and give a big thanks to Speedgaming, as we need to wrap things up, because Metroid Fusion is going to be coming up next on the channel.
So yeah, with that thought in mind, we're going to go ahead and just get right to it. So for Ari Species, my co-com, this is your boy LV Creed. We're going to go ahead and sign up and kick it off to our next set of races for the remainder of the day. So take care, everyone, and we'll see you tomorrow, same time. Take care, everyone.
GG's. Later, y'all.
Peace.